Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So for today, our group will do the Islamic banking product and service presentation, which is the topic have been given to our group is about banker's check and bank draft. So before we proceed to our presentation for today, let me introduce about our group members. Firstly, my name is Amshad Shakir bin Shahruddin, 01 DIB 20F1023. Muhammad Abra Farhim bin Talha, 01 DIB 20F1029. Amirul Zuhdi bin Alias, 01 DIB 20F1028. And lastly, Ahmad Zafar bin Ahmad Fauzi, 01 DIB 20F1019. So now, I will proceed with our presentation for today. So the first topic that I will present is about the banker's check. So what is the banker's check? A banker's check, or known as a payment order, is an instrument issued by a bank on behalf of a customer. So which contain an order to pay a certain amount to a certain person within the city. So the validity period of the banker's check is usually 3 months. However, it can be reconfirmed subject to some legal formalities. So in a banker's check also, the possibility of contempt is unlikely because of it made is prepaid. So it is always plain with the word non-negotiable, which means it's not longer negotiable. So if we can see in our slide now, it is the two of the example of the banker's check, which is the banker's check from the two types of the different bank, which is the banker's check from the RHB bank and the banker's check from the CIMB bank. So I think that's all for my presentation. So I will pass this presentation for the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Abra Farim bin Talha. Matrix number 01 DIB 20F1029. Now, I'm going to present on demand draft. Demand draft. It is a check written by a bank on its head office, a branch, or another bank for payment outside the local area, either domestically or internationally. It is also a negotiating tool. A bank provides a demand draft to a customer, which is drawer, instructing another bank, which is drawee, or one of its own branches to pay a specific payment to the specified entity, which is payee. A demand draft is analogous to a check. A demand draft has a 3-month validity period, although it can be reconfirmed against an application. It can never be dishonored because its payment is done in advance. These are an examples of demand draft from Maybank Islamic and CIMB Bank. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Amirul Zuhdi bin Alias and my matrix number is 01DIB F1028. So now I will tell you about the differences between banker's checks and demand draft. So from the definitions, banker's checks define that check issues from making the payments within the same city, but the demand draft defines that negotiable instrument used to transfer money from one person at the one city to another person in another city. Okay, let's move on to another differences that's between the features. So features for banker's check, it is pre-printed with not negotiable, but demand draft of 105,000 or more should be issued with account payees crossing. So for the differences in the clearance, banker's checks can be cleared in any branch of the same city, but the demand draft can be cleared at any branch of the same bank. So that's all from the differences between banker's checks and draft. Let's moving to next presenter.
Next is similarities between banker's check and demand draft. First is both have a validation period of 3 months. This means that it has been the usual practice among bankers to make payment of only such checks and draft as are presented for payment within a period of 3 months from the date of the instrument. Next is both are used for the transfer of money. This is a pay order drawn on bank's own funds and signed by a cashier. Bankers' checks are mostly used for making real estate payments, brokerage payments, and institutional payments. The beneficiary needs to deposit a banker's check to the bank to receive the mentioned amount of money. After that, both are used for the payment for settling transactions. Once a buyer purchases goods or services, his or her issuing bank sends funds to the seller's payment processor, which disperses said funds to the merchant. The term settlement is also used to refer the specific amount of funds transferred by an acquirer to a merchant for the acceptance of a card transaction. Moreover, banker's check and demand draft are paid in advance by the customer. The balance that is owed, if any, is paid once delivery is made. These type of payment are in contact to deferred payments or payments in arrears. In this case, goods or services are delivered first, then paid for later. Customers will pay for the check when it is issued, so the payee can accept it as good. Banker's check cannot be written except for technical reasons. Lastly, both of the instruments are likely to be dishonored because of the prepayment clause. In an ideal situation, the payer's bank transfers the fund from the payer's account to the payee. However, there are times when the payer's bank or the payee's bank refuses to honor this commitment. The reason for this decline may vary. In such a case, the check bounces and is called a dishonored check. It is a financial instrument that can never be dishonored because a bank draft can be obtained by a bank only after depositing the required amount in the bank account. That's all from us. Thank you.